Blaziken was once the strongest starter Pokemon to ever exist. Nobody dislikes Blaziken. Big martial arts fire chicken. That's a pretty solid design.
Okay, real talk. Ungraded cards just aging in a binder is not a collection strategy, that's just procrastination with sleeves. AGS gets it done in 20 days. Laser scanned, AI graded. Hit the link in bio, grab 20% off, and now catch the rest of this video.
In his debut generation, he had pretty solid stats too. Very good mixed offenses with a below average speed stat, allowing him to function well as a mixed wall breaker. Not the greatest Pokemon around, but he was good and served very specific purposes. Enter Generation 4, things weren't looking so good for Blaziken. It was still a good Pokemon, but there wasn't much reason to ever use it, mainly due to the introduction of Infernape, who was effectively just a better Blaziken. Infernape didn't hit as hard as Blaziken, but it did hit hard enough. And since they had the same typing, ability, and similar move pools, the extra speed on Infernape was valued a whole lot more. Some Blaziken fan at Game Freak must have took this personally, because come Generation 5, they gave it a massive buff in the form of the hidden ability, Speed Boost. Speed Boost makes it so Blaziken's speed stat is boosted at the end of every turn. Blaziken's speed stat of 80 wasn't that slow. I mentioned earlier its speed was only below average. So after one speed boost, Blaziken would go from struggling to outspeed common threats to outspeeding 90% of the entire metagame. That was only after one turn. And keep in mind, this happened passively. You didn't need to dedicate an entire turn to do this. So on that turn, you could do whatever you wanted, like running Protect to guarantee a free speed increase, or you could use Swords Dance, doubling its already massive attack stat of 120. Blaziken's Swords Dance was effectively a Dragon Dance on steroids. This made Blaziken nearly impossible to revenge kill. Fire fighting is not an easy offensive type in Cabal, since very few Pokemon resisted both types. The most prominent defensive Pokemon at the time was Ferrothorn, who had a quadruple weakness to the fire type. So you had to run dedicated Blaziken counters like Tentacruel or Jellicent. And even then, no Pokemon wanted to take a Swords Dance boosted stab Flare Blitz coming off a 120 base attack stat, even when resisted. Blaziken was so strong it warped the entire metagame around it, causing it to be the first starter Pokemon to ever be banned from competitive play in singles formats. With a Pokemon this unreasonably strong, surely it would get nerfed in the next generation, right? Right?